Welcome to the Instant Report, episode number 12. The rightful owner is back on top here after this last week. Yeah, you can boo all you want. One game lead, the NBA and college basketball tanking Aaden. Yeah, you just suck, you're a fraud, blah, blah, blah. We all know the drill. You're just an absolute bum. We got a lot of college basketball today, but first we're going to start with the championship games. This game sucked. This game was trash, bro. Yeah, I stopped. I never watched this game. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I did not watch a single down of this game. I didn't look at the highlights. This man will lose by 45. Jared Stidham outplayed Drake May on the first drive. Then it outplayed that for the entire game. So yeah, neither team played well. Patriots defense is good, but you were playing Jared Stidham, so I don't really think it matters. Yeah, defense might get put up by 45. This was the exact opposite. This was absolutely a great game. A game that was offensively dominated until the fourth, in which a shutout happened. I have no reason to doubt Sam Darnold anymore. I think he's got it. You know, I was like, oh, maybe he's a game manager. Maybe he's not ready for the big. Yeah, I don't. He managed a W. That's what he managed. He's not a game manager. He can finish out games. He did it well in this game. I mean, defensively wise, neither teams did great. The Tariq Woolen taunting penalty comes to mind, which could have cost them their season. It did not. But Seattle is on to the biggest game in sports. We will talk about that. No, absolutely not. We're not gonna argue about this. We will talk about this next week, so stay tuned. We're not picking the Pro Bowl. Yeah, we don't care about that. This feels like forever ago. I'm not gonna lie. This was it's only the national championship. Yeah, I think throughout the entire game, Indiana was just one step ahead, and that's what won them this game. Oh no. I definitely didn't think Miami would just be, completely done. I think they would keep it close. But you cannot score nothing in the first half and expect to win. Now, granted, it's only a 6-point loss against, you could argue, one of the best teams ever. So, you could argue it. I'm not going to say they are because they're not. Yeah, whatever. You still lost. But Indiana. Indiana, 16-0. Mendoza. I don't want to say game manager because that rushing touchdown was absolutely, was the game-winning touchdown. But I'd like to say I think more of Carson Beck's mistakes helped Indiana than Mendoza helped Indiana. And Mendoza still played, in my opinion, very good. It's just he didn't play that elite play.
You know how you compare Kurt Signetti
To Nick Saban.
I think Kurt Signetti is a mixture of Nick Saban and Ben Johnson because the guts to go
Yeah.
on 4th and 5 when if you kick a field goal, no Miami doesn't score
Yeah.
or field goal range. Nonetheless,
It's balls that call that paid off.
it very much is because if you don't hit that,
Game.
Miami wins the game.
Most likely, yeah. But you have trust in your guys, and that's what matters. So, yeah, Indiana is perfect. So, good. I'm really glad they won that game, but sadly, you're not going to see any more college football. So, at least until my senior year, which I'll be probably doing this alone unless you want to come in after school for whatever reason. But we move on. We move on to the NBA. This game was scarily close until the fourth. So, yeah, I don't really like that. It's just an ant game. I mean, we won, yes, but it was just kind of like we probably should have won by more.
This was a game that was on our schedule. This is a game that we did not have to win.
Yeah, that's
Weird analogy, but
yeah. It's just the Sixers. I mean, they won, which is good, but considering the fact it's the 10-34 Pacers who beat OKC, makes no. Yeah, better than the Thunder. They won Game 8. They needed Game 9, but but I think the Sixers definitely need to play better because this game was a very good game. If I had known we did not have Embiid, I would have picked the Suns, but I did not pick this, or maybe I did pick the Suns. I forget who I picked. I think I picked the Sixers.
Is the game that I think is next?
I don't know. I don't know what's next. I don't remember. I do it so early in the morning. But Sixers. I mean, this is
11 a.m. is early in the morning.
yeah. You have a point, bro. Kelly Oubre played very good for 34 minutes, 21 points, 4 rebounds, especially for a forward, but just wasn't able to get the job done. Phoenix is a very good team. I think if we're at full strength, we probably beat them, but we did not beat the Suns. Yeah, I really hope we get a second big man that's not Drummond or Barlow because they're just not. Yeah, get Giannis, bro. We do not have the assets for that. But we need some sort of big man to complement Embiid because it's not working out right now. No, Edgecombe we're keeping. The Sixers went to overtime and we actually finished the job. It's a brand new thing. We've never done that ever. Embiid, I'm starting to believe, is playing really well because he had a triple double, so that was pretty cool. 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 15 rebounds, and he's put up a 32 burger. Edgecombe was nowhere to be seen, 9 points, but Embiid made up for it. Yeah, he was having some fun. He got 7 rebounds, so that's pretty cool. But
Yeah, I will say, for the scorecard, he showed up whenever the lights were shining the brightest.
yeah.
Watch this overtime. He had 2 very big rebounds. One offensive rebound that led to a 3.
Yeah, I think VJ, even if the box score doesn't show it, he does play very well. But this was a great game throughout, but the Sixers were able to just finish it out, something we usually are not able to do, especially against who he is, Kevin Durant. So
You know what was not a great game though, Kolstin?
was it this one? Yeah, it might be the next slide. This was terrible. This was we did not play good in this game, like at all. We played terrible through 3 quarters.
I think we could beat the Knicks.
I would like to yes, we definitely can beat the Knicks in 7, but you're not winning a game with 13 points in the third. I don't care who you're playing. Unless you're up by 50, like the OKC Thunder against half the teams they play against, because half the teams they lose. So, if you score 13 in any game, you are losing. It doesn't matter what quarter.
You're going to see a common theme with the Sixers getting blown out the third quarter with this next joke of a game.
Yeah, this was just 25 points. I mean, granted, we didn't play much better in the second, but I mean, this was just absolutely pathetic. I will say we were not at 100%, but Maxey also put up 6 points. So
Plus minus a 40 is crazy.
yeah, I mean, I think Charlotte is a very underrated team. That doesn't mean they're good. It just means they're underrated. But losing by 20 billion against them is interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. This was a good bounce back, but this is also the Giannis-less Bucks. So yeah, it just isn't really. I'm pretty sure he's sitting out. I'm pretty sure Giannis is sitting out. Oh, we will talk about once the trade deadline is nearby. We'll talk about maybe this guy gets traded there, this guy gets traded there. We won't do it yet. But I'd like to point out Paul George. Shocking. He played really, really well.
I'm telling you, Paul George is the most inconsistent player. But whenever he's on,
He's on. But whenever he's off, he's
Paul George.
yeah, he's Paul George. He's but he was a good compliment to Embiid in this one. Maxey didn't need to do as much. I would even say, I mean, VJ didn't even really play that bad. 12 points, 4 of 7. I think VJ is this may be
He's a very
well balanced player. I think that.
he's not like the best in the. He's very good.
Yeah, he's just a good but he's a very well-rounded player. But this game was just not. I mean, it felt like we were just ahead the entire time. And when you play like that, yeah. So whenever you play like that, you're just always gonna. Yeah.
Predictions.
I love myself some Russell Westbrook, but I cannot say with a straight face the Sacramento Kings are going to beat the Philadelphia 76ers in Philadelphia. I'm going to be honest. No, we're not doing that anymore. Unless there's a game later on that's just like not even like close in terms of comparison. But no.
Come on.
You are 0 for 2. But I think the Kings are just bad. The Sixers are just okay. Okay is better than bad. Okay, computer, Radiohead. Anyway, we're gonna hand it over to Aaden. If you pick the Kings, something's wrong. So.
I know what you want. Hello, everybody. Your actual favorite host is here. By the way, I know we didn't talk about it. Shedeur Sanders to the Pro Bowl, baby. Truly, truly something special. But you know what else?
More interceptions than touchdowns, by the way.
I think everybody just. I'll talk about it later. Do I have to give a reason? This team stinks.
Yeah.
You know, like this team's like Super Weenie Hut Jr. This team's only Weenie Hut Jr. Because Zach LaVine's a day-to-day. Westbrook's averaging 7 assists.
Don't do it.
I thought you were doing it. And if we lose one of these games, I'm going to be disappointed. If we lose both of them, I'm not watching the Sixers again all year. Give me Philadelphia. Zion lost a couple pounds, which means he gets a couple more points per game.
Doesn't mean he's good.
Doesn't mean he's good. Never said he was. He's got a future in the league.
Derek Queen's really good.
I think this guy is he a first or second year man?
He's first.
I think he's got a shot at rookie. I think it's a 3-horse race. Flag,
I don't think he wins it, but I think he
Queen, and Edgecombe. Little NBA Rookie of the Year conversation. I feel like that NBA awards don't get talked about enough. Kolstin, what's your thoughts on the Pelicans and the 76ers?
Yeah, I'll just be a cutthroat with this one. I won't waste you guys' time. If we lose either of these games, that's pretty sad. that's yeah. I mean, we're at home for both. We play like two bottom 5 teams in the league. There should be no reason we lose either of these. So that's really all I got. This is going to be a better game than a lot of people think. I think with Kawhi on the rise, Zubac is not that bad, and James Harden with the assists, this is going to be a 3v3 punch between, either VJ or Paul George versus Max and Embiid, and Kawhi Leonard, Zubac, and Harden. So this is going to be a very good game, but I think the Clippers right now are just too hot to go against. I think they are just... they're just getting hot. I mean, there's the tweet thing. They went like 15-5, and
If they went 15-3 at any stretch during the season,
yeah,
I would eat the tweet. Did you hear the wall chanting that?
Yeah, it was interesting, but I think that the Clippers are better than what their record says, despite not being even at 500, which is crazy to me because they've been really good recently. They started terrible and they're so back. They're in the play-in. I think going in.
Saving the NBA, by the way.
Yeah, like OKC was about to get a top 3 pick, and I was about to cry. But
This game starts at 10?
yeah, it's a night game. but I will take the Clippers. This is a much better game than what people think. Aaden, who do you got? The Sixers and the LA Clippers.
Well, Kolstin, I think the key, he's not here, but the key is going to be if 1, Embiid plays, and 2, if he does, who will out-rebound the other center? Zubac has been I'm saying his name wrong on purpose. Zubac is going to Zubac his game away. Give me the Philadelphia 76ers. Embiid's been really hot as of late. Paul George, I think, is just going to have a really good – I think if Philly doesn't pull a Philly, which is I don't know. You do never know. I think this game goes into overtime. The first game in Philly was a 2-point win by the Sixers. That's that. Yeah. Philly in a close one against LA. Take that, Silas. Yeah. Silas picks Philly. Pittsburgh's back. We're winning the Stanley Cup.
So we're back to the NHL. It's going quick because there's not much to talk about. It's mainly actually college basketball, which we'll get to.
Oh, I saw
But it's gonna be more and more college basketball because March. So we always tie. The Penguins played great in the third period, and that's what won them this game. Did we? I don't remember. Penguins started out. If the Penguins start out great here in like the early stretch, I feel like they have a much higher chance to win than usual. Because I feel like if we always start slow, we lose the game. So if you score more goals than the opponent, you usually win. And by usually, I mean 100% of the time. So good win for the Penguins, especially in Seattle. This I did not have on my bingo card. The Flyers have been playing terrible for the past week, and they just were doing really well defensively. Offensively wasn't offense. Jeez. Yeah, it's Philly. I mean, their offense wasn't great, but they were able to do enough, and I think that's what matters. So Vegas is a perfect 24-24 on the year, perfectly balanced as all things should be. But the Flyers, they've been an interesting team. They haven't really been a bad team. They haven't been a great team. We'll see. Flyers, Golden Knights. So after the cut here, we're back. This was a great one as well. Mammoth and the Flyers. An OT win for the Mammoth, a game in which the Mammoth just dominated the last few minutes, and that's what you need. It was a 4-2 game, I believe. Yeah, 4-2. And they came back and they got the win. And this is the problem with the Flyers, is that they're the exact opposite of the Penguins, in which they always just seem to start out great and finish out poor. So, Flyers, a 4-5 loss to the Mammoth. The Mammoth are not a great team. They're not really a bad team either. So I think the Flyers need to get more hot because they're losing to teams they should not be losing to. Meanwhile, for some reason, you picked the Flames. The Penguins are just, I think they're hot right now. They're kind of a streaky team, but I think they're hot right now. Another win. I believe they did. This was just a dominant win throughout. The Flames looked tired, to be honest, if I had to describe it. Malkin played great. I think Brian Rust, he's been slowly getting better as the seasons went on. It's just a good quality win against an okay opponent. Jari's back, everybody. I knew he was secretly a Pittsburgh Penguin. Jari played terrible. That's the reason we lost. Yeah, up 5-1 at the end of two periods. I mean, Jari was just not having a good night, which I'm fine with, but yeah, just not. Yeah, it's just not great for Edmonton. But this is the problem with Edmonton, is that their goaltending is not great. Everything else is. So if they could get a goalie, I don't know, maybe like Skinner, they may be. Skinner, I think honestly is better than Jari. I think that's not a crazy take. I think he's been playing better. Jari's a bit older as well, so I feel like experience should have helped him. This was a game. This was a game that was played, and it was there was hockey played. I have no clue what happened here. The Avalanche just decided they wanted the Flyers to win because it was. I think the Flyers are the most unpredictable team, because how do you lose to the Mammoth and then just absolutely decimate the Avalanche, who are the best team in the NHL? So, 3 goals for Owen Tippett. It's the first game in which Trevor Arigas didn't have to do literally everything. So, 4-0 third period. That's just all you need. You score 4 goals in the third period, you're likely winning, unless you're down 5. So, yeah, that is good math. Good going on me. I've been getting better at math, guys. Remember, I didn't know how to say what I think it was 25 plus 25. I forget what it was, but Flyers, just a great win, and then Vancouver sucks. They almost came back and won still, but they just suck. That's really all I got. We should not have lost this game under any circumstance, and we almost did. We almost did the Penguins thing again. We almost went back to our old ways, so that would have sucked. But the Penguins get a good win. You see what I mean? It's just the most unpredictable team. You win against the Avalanche 7-3, you go back home, zilch. So, the Islanders just decimated the Flyers. So, just a good win for them. I think the Flyers, as I said, the most unpredictable team, and they just showed it. The entire game, they were just getting dominated by the Islanders. They're a much more physical team than the Flyers. Flyers have been more speed recently. The Islanders were more physical, and as we saw, physicality won them this game. So I think the Rangers definitely on the up and up. Welcome back to the MC Report, episode number 12. We had a bit of a break here talking to Herto, Matt Moore, so we haven't talked about it. We already talked about this game. Islanders 4-0, dominant physicality. Good win. So we go, where's my marker? It's over here. I found my marker, guys. So we are back with just predict. Yeah, right by our Pepsis. So we are back with predictions. I'm still not taking the Blue Jackets. I'm wrong every time I pick against them, but I just still don't think they're fantastic. They're just okay. So, yeah, I think I'd rather go with the Flyers' unpredictability than the Blue Jackets either getting blown out by 6 or winning by 6. So, that's not unpredictable. It's just random. It's just randomly they win, randomly they lose. So, I mean, that is kind of the NHL works. Randomly you win, randomly you lose. But yeah, but I'm gonna pick the Flyers here. We're just gonna jump straight in with Aaden here. Blue Jackets and the Flyers. Who takes it in Columbus?
I don't know if you know this or not. Columbus is favored heading into this game by a goal and a half. Did you actually just spill your Pepsi?
No.
Kolstin strikes again.
This is gonna be a good one.
That's only one to remember. But seeing how Philly's coming off a loss, I think they're going to get back on this cold streak. I think that game against the Avalanche was a fluke. And for once, I'm going to pick against Kolstin, and I'm going to pick the Blue Jackets. Well, yeah, Kolstin, because if I keep following you, I'm going to stay a game behind Kolstin. I got to make a play. Kolstin, you're a nice guy. Did I skip 2? I did skip 1. Good comms, Kolstin. Boston's really good. They're 28-1 at home.
I'm better.
You're better? Kolstin, what's your spilt Pepsi and you have to say about this Metro showdown?
That's actually legit exactly what I was going to do. Way to get rid of the ink, by the way. Just like absolute greatness happening here. But I mean, I'm just going to basically agree with everything Aaden said. Boston is the better team. That's all you need to know. They're just the better team. So, especially in Boston, it's going to be much tougher. But I cannot pick Philly. They're too unpredictable. Boston, at least if they lose by 5. So at least I'll know I'm just completely wrong instead of somewhat wrong. So, yeah, give me Boston in this battle. The Penguins have been hot. The last time these two teams played, they put up 7 goals. I think as of right now, I think I'm back on the Pittsburgh train. I think they can beat. I think the Blackhawks are just the definition of mediocre. Just literally, you look up mediocre in the dictionary, the Blackhawks pop up. So actually, Pittsburgh pops up the Steelers, but this is the second thing that pops up. So yeah, the standard is the standard, as with Mike McCarthy. But I think, yeah, but I gotta pick Pittsburgh, especially against the Blackhawks. I just think that they're an okay team. Shocking. Well, you can think of your idea after you pick the Penguins and the Blackhawks here. Penguins and the Blackhawks tomorrow, 7 p.m. Who you got?
Oh, this is going to be a good game in PPG Paints Arena on ESPN+. The place where you can get all your hockey games except the ones you actually want to watch.
Advertising a billion-dollar company.
Doesn't matter because the games you want to watch, you can't. Give me Pittsburgh. They're the way hotter team. They're consistent. Somewhat. Yeah, give me Pittsburgh because Chicago stinks. Oh, no, we lost monetization. What will I ever do? Ooh, this is another really good game. 12:30. This will be one you want to turn on with the wife and kids.
Yeah, bro.
No, you won't. This game's going to blow. 2-1 final score. But give me to the Flyers. I think a cross-country travel will be tough for the Kings. They're not great. They haven't blown me away. Yeah. Oh, yeah, my idea. Why haven't we talked about the head coach hirings?
That's what I was thinking.
You're in control of what goes on here.
Nah, we can talk about it later. And by later, I mean not this episode.
Here's Kolstin, Devin.
I am going to change my color for the sole reason I feel like this color probably represents them the best. I'm going to take the Kings. I think that they are a way. I think the Kings are, as of right now, a way better team than the Flyers. They've had a very tough schedule thus far, and they're still, I'd say, solidly above 500. A lot of OT losses. The Penguins of their.
So like, I don't understand OT losses.
Yeah, I don't.
It makes every team look like they have a losing record.
Yeah, but I think that.
But think about it. Philadelphia is 24 and 27.
Yeah, they're just not.
The LA Kings are
22 and 29. So
these are two losing teams.
I would rather, as of right now, take the Kings over the Flyers. They're just gonna need to. I think the Kings play more consistent. Consistency is key. So
The reason I'm picking the Flyers is this would be a 9:30 a.m. game for the Kings.
nah, they'll be fine. Yeah, give me the Kings. I just think they're more talented.
We got a good one.
I'm just gonna be straight up cutthroat when I say this. I think the Rangers are just a better team than the Penguins. I think just flat out they are just a better team. I mean, obviously the Penguins won 3-0 the first time, but I would take 6-1 over 3-0 any day of the week. Also, these two games happened in the span of 4 days at the beginning of the season. We're going to get to
Second week of October, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to, this is really a show of who is the better team. Because so early in the season, you can't really tell. I mean, you're so deep into the season now, you got to see, who comes out on top. And I think as of right now, the Rangers are just a better team right now. And that's no schlack on the Penguins' new vocab. But, not word of the day. But I think that if the Penguins' goaltending is good, which has always been a question mark, we can win this game. But I think the Rangers right now are just playing better. I think they're just a better team. That's all I really have. But who you got? There's been some great ones this week. We've got another one. The Rangers and the Penguins in Pittsburgh.
Oh, boy, you really want to get your wife and kids on this one. ABC primetime national television here. Kolstin, what did I do a lot last week? I picked a lot against our teams. I didn't believe in the Penguins or the Flyers. Well, guess what? I believe, Kolstin. The Penguins are on a hot streak, which you cannot stop a team with momentum. Well, the Avalanche are just stop momentum in the other way. New York sucks. Pittsburgh's going to blow them out. I hate this team. This is a bias pick. And just so I can go up one more game on you.
Do you hate the Rangers or the Capitals more?
Oh, I really don't like the Capitals. If I had to go,
I hate the Capitals more.
if I had to go three least favorite teams, I'd go Philly. Pittsburgh Philly rivalry. Capitals, Rangers.
Capitals, Rangers.
Well, you like both Pennsylvania teams, which is weird. I like the Eagles and the Cowboys. Once again, Ottawa's not good. Pittsburgh is. Give me the Pittsburgh Penguins. Kolstin just gave a look of despair and shock. This team's record's worse. Why are you picking the Senators?
Just give me the mic, bro. I would like to say, I am still picking the Penguins, but they won 4-0 last time, and you're calling them bad? Yeah, I don't understand that. Yeah. I think the Senators are also just kind of an unpredictable team, but I mean they beat us by 4 last time, so can't really call them bad in my personal opinion. But this is true. It is on home ice this time, but I still think the Penguins are not going to win this by more than 2.
They're winning by 9.
Yeah, bro, winning by 9. They win by 9. You can host next week. There's your bet. We head into like 50%.
Yes.
We head into like 50% of the slides in which
I love Miami, Ohio.
you're seeing the most overrated team in the entirety of college basketball win in OT against Kent State. If this Red Hawks team, besides maybe Penn State, plays literally any Power of 5 team, Power 4 team, they get blown out.
I'm picking this team over everyone.
Absolutely not. They would get decimated. They did not play good in this game. They had to. Kent State should have won this game. They got screwed in overtime.
Oh, my. You're just a Red Hawk fan. You're a Blue Hawk fan, aren't you?
What the heck is a Blue Hawk?
Not a Red Hawk.
But yeah, I think Miami of Ohio is overrated. You're gonna see them later. I watched this game. Clemson just. I watched this game. Clemson undefeated in ACC play heading in. No longer undefeated in ACC play. They just didn't seem like they wanted to win, and yet they kept it close. Another OT game. It just kind of Clemson just looked off. I think that's the best way to put it. NC State's, yeah, honestly. But I've had a speech impediment the past week. I don't know why, but NC State, I think their defense smothered Clemson, and that was the reason they won. So the last undefeated team in the ACC in terms of conference play is Duke. Is that shocking? Probably not. A no longer ranked team, by the way, no longer ranked anymore in Georgia, survived Missouri, a much better second half than the first half because I'm more of an offensive guy, but I think everybody is. Let's be so for real. Of course, you're a defensive guy, but I think that Missouri played them tough, but Georgia just snuck out a win. It's just classic SEC basketball. Yeah, just that's SEC is not big guys getting in the paint. This is just not it.
What the actual hell is happening?
There's a lot of teams that have fallen off. Iowa State, Vanderbilt, Purdue, Houston to a degree. Yeah, Arkansas just absolutely decimated Vanderbilt. This was completely unexpected. Yeah, I mean, I think the scoreboard says it all. I don't even think I really need to explain it. Arkansas also just had a lot of guys who can just score, and they didn't know who to stop, so they couldn't stop them. So a good win for Arkansas because they're just such an iffy team. Do I see them going far? No, but they can definitely. I mean, honestly, I think they can win against anybody. It's just the fact of the matter is that they are just too inconsistent, and they also play just tough opponents. So it doesn't really help them. Purdue. I mean, I think UCLA is a good team. Don't get me wrong. I mean this in the nicest way possible. Purdue's a fraud. Absolute fraud. There is no reason you should be losing to UCLA, even if it is in UCLA. Even by it doesn't matter. You should not be losing to this team. You're supposed to be a natty contender, and they just did nothing. They actually just did nothing the entire game. They just kind of stuck around and let UCLA win. That's what it looked like. So, yeah, they deserved to lose this game. They played bad, and it does not get any better for them. North Carolina needed this. They really did. I think that they've played so many tough opponents and they've lost so many that you got to have one of these types of wins. You could say a statement win, but I think Caleb Wilson, he didn't play great on the rebounds, but 20 points I think is close to a season high for him. And Virginia is still a great team, but especially at home, I don't think you should be losing to North Carolina, although I did pick North Carolina. But I think that North Carolina needs to be still on the up and up if they want to have a deep shot, but this is a good win for them, especially going into Virginia. Connecticut, what UConn is mostly known, it was on upset watch the entirety of this game, but I mean, you can just see, 4 guys with 10 plus points here. I mean, they didn't know. I think that I think the top 2 teams, obviously they're ranked the top 2, but still, are UConn and Arizona for the sole reason that you don't know who to stop. Miami, Ohio is 25th in the nation. Yeah, you're crazy. I think Villanova is still a very good team.
What did you just say?
I said that completely wrong. Villanova.
Say it again.
Villanova. I think they're a very good team, especially taking the number 2 team in the nation to overtime, but they weren't able to. overtime, but they just weren't able to finish it out. As I said, it doesn't get much better for Purdue. I'm going to be honest. I think they're sucking right now. I don't think they could beat Penn State. Well, yeah, but still. I like to say Keaton Wagler is very good at basketball. 39 minutes, just puts up a casual 46. That's just crazy. That's actually just crazy. I can't even I mean, he scored more than half of Purdue's points. Put that in perspective. Yeah, I mean, that's just, he did score more than half. 44, 46, 44. You divide by 2. See, I'm the one bad at math. All right, we're going to the next slide. This Texas Tech team makes no sense. They could either lose by 30 against a solid team, not a great team, a solid team, or they could beat Houston. That just makes no sense. I still think that Houston is not an elite team. I didn't think they were an elite team the entire year. I don't think Texas Tech. I don't think Texas Tech is elite either, but they're just winning. I don't know how. They're just winning. I think Toppin, which I for some reason put Houston statistics on here, but I think Toppin, you could argue, is one of the best players in the entirety of the country because he's been playing phenomenal in these wins, especially putting up 55 against Houston, who I will admit, there's one thing they did right. It was their defense. Houston's defense heading into this game was close to number 1 in the entirety of the country, and they put up. Yeah. But I think Texas Tech, another statement win, another team like North Carolina, you need a statement win, and they got it. It's your own team, Auburn. Once again, another game. You're seeing a theme here. They don't know who to stop. 24-16-11 for Auburn. I think Florida is still a very good team, but, I mean, you can't be down by 15.5 and expect to win. Doesn't matter who you're playing. So, yeah, I mean, especially at home, this is a bit of a shock, but, I mean, I'm not mad about it. We get to talk about it. I only watched the ending of this game, and they were just fouling at the end, trying to see if they get a chance. They just didn't. 6-7, but Aaden's doing it in the back. Yeah, whatever. Another fraudulent team in Bama. It's just, I think Bama is honestly not a absolutely terrible team, but they keep, I mean, this is technically not an example of it because I think Tennessee's not an elite team by any stretch of the imagination, but Bama's put on so many games where they just aren't doing enough, but they're playing great teams. I think Nate Amon, you could also argue, or Nate Amon, I forget how you say it. But yeah, I think he's one of the. Yeah, bro, Sumet. But I think is still one of the best players in the nation, despite being on a team that's not ranked. But I mean, they're the same record as Bama, so you can make an argument. Yeah, I think Bama, especially at home, losing to Tennessee, not what you want. Absolutely great game. DeBonster tried to come back down 10 at the end of the game, trying to get the comeback victory against the number. Yeah, he nearly did against the number 1 team in the nation. But I think the number 1 thing Arizona's great at, besides everything, is the rebounding. I think the rebounding in this game was phenomenal. Nobody really, filled the rebounds, but the problem is that Arizona can just do it from anyone and get the rebounds. I think BYU is still I think everybody's a tier below BYU, or not BYU, Arizona and not Houston. What's number 2? Why am I forgetting? UConn. I think those two are like the very top. I think there's a bit of a gap, and I think BYU is still a very good team. That's close. I don't know, but I think that Arizona. I mean, they're the number 1 team in the nation for a reason. Despite I'd say surviving against BYU, I think it'd be a great matchup if they played in the March Madness. So Arizona, just a good win. They are one of the last 2 undefeated teams because Nebraska went down. Yeah, whatever. This is the exact opposite of the game from earlier. The first half of this game was absolutely fantastic. The second half of this game sucked balls. I think Nebraska is still a very good team. I just think Michigan is I know the ranking says it, the 3rd best team in the nation right now. This is maybe somewhat controversial, maybe not. It doesn't really show it here, but I think Michigan, they're not number one, but they are definitely the best rebounding team in the entirety of the country. They're just so good at it for some reason. Either them or Illinois, which is kind of a random team, both Big Ten. But Illinois is. Yeah. Yeah. Michigan definitely has the chance to win it all. Their one loss was, I believe, at Wisconsin, or maybe they were at home against Wisconsin. It was Wisconsin. It was Wisconsin, but Michigan, I mean, getting a good win against Nebraska, it doesn't get much better for Nebraska, especially their upcoming schedule. Just Purdue's not a good team. They're just yeah, really, it's literally their curse. But Indiana, they're having a great season sports-wise because they just won college football. But I think they could really care. I don't think they could care about this, but I mean, they just dominated this game. Obviously, Purdue tried to. Yeah, they tried to come back in the second half, Purdue, but they've just been sucking recently. They've just been doing terrible, and when you do terrible, you're not beating anyone. So Indiana, a good win. Virginia, as I said, is not a bad team. I watched this game. This was a very good game. This is also half on here just to complain that Notre Dame should be in a conference in football. It's the only sport they're not in a conference. Just go to the ACC. Anyway, rant over. I don't care what they're in. Just get to a conference. No, they don't go to a Power Four. But I think that Notre Dame is also very underrated, despite the record. They've played a lot of these teams like Virginia close. It's just we haven't even talked about them. I was worried because D. Ritter, who was having a great game, fouled. Yeah, whatever. He fouled out 34 minutes to go, or not 34 minutes in, not to go. But he put up 34 minutes and 32 points. So basically, but Virginia able to squeeze it out in double overtime. As I drop my pen, let me pick that up real quick. Yeah, but I think Notre Dame just kind of blew it. Up 9.5. They just weren't able to finish it out. Virginia just had more stamina. This team is a fraud. I will say in this game their their scoring was great. Their rebounding was okay. They're very well rounded, if I were to say that. I don't know what I'm making. But I think that if they play a lot of the teams like the Big 10, the Big 12, the SEC, probably Miami, Ohio. That's not really a high bar, but
No, it's not. Trust me, I know.
but it's a good underdog story. They're undefeated. Speaking of Penn State, 50 points in the first half. You're not beating. I don't even.
Why is this team still on the slide?
Because we're near them. That's really bad at it. But Wisconsin's a much better team.
The Rec Hall game, we do it once or twice every year. We beat Illinois the first year we did it.
Yeah.
I don't think we've been close since.
Yeah, just not. Penn State basketball is in shambles. Boise State basketball is not in shambles anymore, guys. We've won 5 straight. Yeah. I think that we can run the table, which I know I'm biased, but still. But I think that our scoring's got a lot better. Our rebounding's still kind of mediocre, but that'd be what it be. The first half was the reason we won this game because we were up 20 at halftime. But I also think our defense is extremely underrated. The problem is that our offense is either really good or really bad. So, and we're no Houston. We're not getting away with that. So, the one game, obviously, if you had Air Force had miraculously won, you would have done it. But
Close until halfway through the first.
no, I don't think it was close at the entire game. Now, obviously, they have better things to do with the Air Force, but I would like to genuinely say, yeah, I think that this is the worst team in the entirety of college basketball. Is that a high? Is that? Yeah, I don't even want to know who they beat because there's probably nobody good, but they're just a bad team. Which, yeah. We tried in the second half. I wish. I wish we tried in the first half, but Ohio State just dominated. Yeah, I think Ohio State just dominated. They didn't really give them a chance at the end. Yeah, Josh Reed. The both games, I haven't mentioned it. Josh Reed did not do terrible. You can have 2 good games, buddy. You still probably should be on the bench. Caden Mingo, 4 points. He disappeared for some reason. He was more of an assist guy, but both games he just disappeared. He's been slowly just like going away for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's why. But Penn State is 9-11. I mean, honestly, they may be as bad as that. So, once again, a much worse team plays a better team. Now, this game was close at halftime. This game was not close in the second half. We shot 85% in the second half. So, I mean, if you score that well, you might win the game. San Jose State. But San Jose State scored, I think they were shot 33% the entire game. It's pretty bad. So, Boise just was a better team. That's all I really got as we head into the next week. This is a bloodbath, a rivalry. Both teams love the paint. Who's going to come out on top? Michigan and Michigan State. Now, Michigan's been doing great recently. I think that they have been, after that loss against Wisconsin, you could argue, they were on a downturn, and they've really been picking it back up, beating Nebraska. Yeah, Big Ten also just absolutely elite. But these two teams, very solid. I think Michigan State's flown under the radar because they just haven't really been playing anybody that's good. They need a chance to prove that they can beat a top dog like Michigan, but I cannot bet against Michigan right now. I think Michigan State 1,000% has a chance to win this game. Same Illinois did with Purdue. Granted, I think Michigan's way better than Purdue, but I think Michigan is just a better team. I think Michigan State has a lot of games where they're just sort of not doing bad, but they're not doing good either. Michigan, when they win, they're winning by 50, or they're losing by 2. That's just been their motto. I think they're much more consistent in the paint than Michigan State is. Although Michigan State does get a lot more boards than Michigan, but the thing is Michigan has been, capped. Yeah, I think that Michigan has just been more well-rounded. Michigan State's offense is a little bit shaky, so they need to, tidy that up if they want to beat the Wolverines. A top 7 matchup in the Big Ten. Do you have the Wolverines or the Spartans?
This is going to be an instant classic on Fox, 8 p.m., January 30th. Kolstin's struggling to figure out how to run a camera. He's getting practice for later tonight. But if it's up, MCTV Wrestling. Watch. Me and Wyatt, the other good commentator. Giving it away a little. It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. Don't get it twisted. But not that night. Michigan State is at home. The last 2 times, I don't know if you noticed. I'm going to give it a little lore drop here. The lore. Michigan State seniors on senior night, they kiss the center court logo as they walk off the court for the last time. A Michigan player stood on the logo, and other Michigan State players did not like that. They're like, hey, man, that's not cool. I'm going to show you how nice my fist is. A big scuffle broke out. These two teams despise each other. This, in my opinion, is like the Michigan-Ohio State of basketball. I think this might be the biggest rivalry in basketball, maybe in all college basketball. I just don't see this team losing on home court. Yeah. Now, yes, they are coming off a really shaky win against a really bad Rutgers team. Yeah. To the point where they had to hit an and one to survive. Oh boy. Kolstin, why didn't you tell me we had such a great slate of good basketball? Great. That's an understatement, Kolstin. BYU and Kansas, 2 teams in the.
Peterson versus AJ DeBonsta.
Just look at these two. Oh well, green. I'm not gonna spoil my pick. It'll be blue. two Big 12 teams in the thick of the hunt. I mean, you I forget how much I hate you some days. Both of these teams, same record in conference play. We asked the question, BYU or Houston, and that's a lot closer than I think this is going to be. I'm going to pick the Cougars to go on the road and beat. This man's going to have to step up, though. I think he'll need to drop 25, maybe 30 to win this game. Well, yes, he does it every night, but he can't be off.
Yeah, if he's off, they're not good.
That's a good statement, Kolstin. Kolstin, who do you have in a Big 12 top 14 showdown
13 and 14.
at the Allen Fieldhouse?
13 and 14 face off. It's Darren Peterson's return to the court. I think that, and we're not talking about, like court case, all that. But just to, specify, maybe they don't know. But as of right now, for some reason, Kansas is favored by a lot. It's probably because they're at home, but I cannot go against BYU. I think that DeBonsta is a much better player than Peterson, and I think Peterson is you could argue, top 3 player in the entirety of college basketball. The problem is that this is Peterson's return after about a week. He's going to be rusty, and DeBonsta, is averaging, 23. I believe it's 7, maybe it's close to 5, so he's a talented player. The Rick Roll's playing right now on the TV. Yeah, but I think BYU, even if they're going into Kansas, I think Peterson needs to step up more than DeBonsta will need to. So I just want to make sure you didn't skip a slide. No, you didn't. Okay, just want to make sure. These are two teams that are desperate for a win. Why does that sound so familiar? Because the Gators already did it once, and they're going to do it again. I think that Bama relies too heavily on their 3. Everybody's made that criticism, but it's true. They need to rely on the paint, the rebounds, something they have not been able to do, and something Florida's been able to do. 11 rebounds for your top guy, and it's not like, he's the only one getting it. There's a lot of guys, 11, 7, and 5. I believe that's their top 3. And their scoring isn't absolutely terrible. 17 isn't a lot, but it's not, you're the worst in the nation. But, yeah, probably does go to Penn State. But I think Bama going into Florida, that's a tough matchup, and they've already lost so many important games. I think, obviously, they're still going to make March Madness because it's like 96 teams. But whatever, 96, 68, round up. But I think Bama just going into Florida, that's just a deadly matchup, and I don't think they're coming out of it unscathed. But who do you got? The Crimson Tide looking to survive, stay in the top 25, taking on the Gators in Gatorville.
The elephant is a very strong animal. That's the Alabama mascot. The elephant is a lot stronger than a gator, but not in a swamp. Give me the Gators at home. I think this is gonna. I don't think this is gonna be a close game. Florida's coming off now. Both of these teams are coming off pretty bad losses. The teams that they should have beat. 71% favorite. You're out rebounding their highest rebounder by 3.5 boards per game.
Which is a lot.
I'm talking. I have the microphone. I'm the only one that's allowed to interrupt here.
Yeah, bro.
Give me Florida. So we had to slide 52 on episode 12 of the MC Report. Oh, boy. Buckle my shoes. This is a great one.
Get the family and kids out once again.
Sit down on your couch on February 1st at 4 p.m. and turn on FS1. Because we got a thriller, and that's an understatement. 9 Illinois, 5 Nebraska, in Nebraska. Who do you got, Kolstin? I'm going to tell you first since I'm up here. That's how this works. Give me the Cornhuskers. They need a bounce-back win. They lost to Michigan. They haven't really beat anybody big other than Purdue. This is
Still, it's not that big. Let's get that straight.
This is a proving game. There's not a team more dangerous than a team in a proving game. Kolstin, who do you have in a top 10 Big Ten showdown?
I think you've nailed it perfectly. I think Nebraska needs a bounce back because they've had a tough schedule. Obviously they've went against, they went against Michigan, and Michigan, it was a close game. Nebraska could not close it out in Michigan. But at home, they still have the lights on them. And I think this is going to come down to rebounds. And I think Illinois is far more superior to them than Nebraska. And I think Nebraska is going to drop 2 straight. I think that Nebraska is still a very good team, don't get me wrong. But I think these are the top 2 teams in the Big Ten right now. Right now, not probably at the end of the season. I think Michigan State has an argument to be number 2. But I think as of right now, Illinois is playing hot. I think Nebraska is coming off a big loss. I think they can easily drop 2 straight. It's going to come down to defense, which seems to be the case with like every Big Ten team for some reason. But I think Illinois is going to walk into Nebraska and get the win. Here's Kansas once again. Kansas, in our personal takes, is coming off a loss against BYU, and now they have to head to Texas Tech. This is going to be extremely tough. But I think Toppin, you can argue, is the best team in the nation right now. He's averaging.
That's the second time you said Toppin is the whole team.
Yeah, I think he's very, very good. I mean, he's averaging a double-double. He's literally Giannis. But yeah, actually it's 11. But if I had to be honest, I have to take Kansas. I think it's off the simple fact that Texas Tech, in every game, they've won a big game this season. The very next game, they got blown out. Like, absolutely decimated. Now, Kansas is not, I think, a fantastic team. They've got major flaws. But I think Kansas, if our predictions are correct, and they're in a must-win game once again, coming off the loss to BYU, you have to beat Texas Tech. And I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to go into Texas Tech and get the win.
Let me ask you something. You talked about this is a must-win game for Kansas. Why pick Kansas in this situation but not Nebraska?
I think Nebraska.
Nebraska's at home and Kansas goes on the road.
I think when it comes down to it, Nebraska is a very good team. Don't get me wrong, but they don't have. There's a lot of guys who usually at the end of a game just do kind of poorly. There's always that one guy you can point out and say, hey, you didn't do great. Kansas doesn't usually have that. They just kind of have a well-rounded team, but the other team just plays better. And usually when it comes down to it, when Texas Tech gets blown out, which is kind of, it's not really Kansas' fault, but still, I think when Texas Tech gets blown out, Toppin usually plays well. Anderson's still doing his thing. It's just that the rest of the team is just not there. So I think that Kansas could definitely go into Texas Tech and win. Now, I could very well be wrong. Kansas could lose both of these games, and then they're probably just screwed. They're not winning the entirety of the Big 12. But especially with how good it is, Arizona, Houston, Iowa State. I think Iowa State, after losing 2 straight, they're still a great team. It's just that they lost 2 straight, so nobody's really talking about them. BYU, who we have predicted to beat this Kansas team, I think Kansas needs a bounce back, and this is what they'll get. But can Texas Tech come back and get another big win against this Kansas team coming to town? Who you got? The Jayhawks and the Red Raiders.
Kolstin, I'm not liking this right now, Kolstin, for predictions wise, whenever it comes to the overall standings, because we are disagreeing a lot in college basketball. And the last time that happened, I got killed because of it. In Fortnite, of course. Stay safe, kids. Purdue lost 2 straight, and I feel like this is going to be an eerily similar story. A team that's either the second or the third best team in their conference heading.
Kansas is not even top 3 in the conference. They're not better than Arizona. They're not better than Iowa State. They're not better than Houston. You could argue if they beat BYU, they're 4.
Okay. A top 5 team entering their conference loses 2 straight to opponents that are worthy. And, you could say the same thing that might happen to Nebraska with your predictions. It's eerily similar to Nebraska, and you pick the away team in both, which just doesn't make sense to me. This is more me hating on Kolstin's pick than talking about my own. Toppin's going to be the reason this team wins.
Oh, definitely. Whenever they win, it's usually because he puts up 40.
Well, I think he's going to put up 40 because, he's a forward?
I believe. He's usually...
He's either the 4 or the 5.
Usually, when he comes in, he's the 4.
Oh, boy. Hold your horses, folks.
Penn State is a winnable game.
Am I going to do it? Am I actually going to do it? Give me the Ninny Lions. You know what? Hold this. I've been waiting for this moment every episode for the whole season.
Oh boy, what's he doing now? He's taking off his shirt, ladies and gentlemen. Don't demonetize us. Put on the camera.
Give me the Nittany Lions. They're winning this game by 10. We are, baby. We are a 500 team. We are beating Northwestern.
So he's probably going to go put his sweatshirt back on because it's 10 degrees outside as I make my pick, as I hit the smart board. I think if there was one team Penn State is able to beat, it's probably Northwestern. But heading into Northwestern is a really tough environment. I think you could argue if they have a great season, they are maybe the toughest team to go into. But they're not having a great season. They're probably the second worst team in the entirety of the Big Ten. If Penn State wants a Big Ten win, it is this one. Now, Penn State is awful. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. They're pretty bad. But
This is the type of game that'll end like 58-54.
yes, it's either going to end in an absolute shootout or the most low-scoring game you've ever seen in your entire life. But I think I'm a little bit biased because I'm just going to pick Penn State because they're Penn State. So I think that Northwestern is not a great – neither of these two teams are great. Let's just get something straight. But
I think Northwestern's one win against Penn State.
it could be. I honestly don't know. But give me the Nittany Lions as we head to Boise State basketball. The last time these two teams played, it was an absolute blowout in Boise. If Boise wants to run the table, they have to beat teams like Grand Canyon. They're on a 3-game losing streak. We're on a 5-game winning streak. You do the math, the Boise State Broncos are going to win. Now, we could easily lose by 30 again. Honestly, there's a higher chance of us losing by 30 than us winning by 30. So, that's just something.
So they're the favorite.
Yeah, I think they're favored by like 9.5. But I think that Boise has been getting their yeah, I already started. They're getting their shit together. But I think that Boise needs a statement win. Once again, I'm picking the away team. I don't know why it's always like that. But
You pick against Nebraska. All right, this team needs a statement win.
no. But I think I don't know what that was. I think Grand Canyon is a more well-rounded team, but when this Boise team is hot, I don't know what's going on. They are hot. So, I'm going to take Boise. This is a bit of a biased pick as well, but it's my team. I kind of got it. But between the Broncos and the Lopes, what the heck is a Lope? Who you got?
I left my pen over there. Go fetch me my pen. That throw looked a little Mahomey from Kolstin. He did a little underhand pass, just like how Boise State is going to lob this win to the Lopes. You guys lost to the Hawaii Pacific Sharks. Game 1 of the season. I don't care. I still bring it up. It's just, I just don't fully trust this team. They're getting out-rebounded pretty bad in this game.
Yeah, our rebounds are like the one thing we're terrible at.
Yeah, and you can't expect to beat a team that's out-rebounding your highest rebounder by 3 rebounds a game and outscoring your highest scorer by 4 rebounds. Is your team just a bunch of white guys?
Basically. Besides David Andrews.
And Andrews. What'd you just say? What'd you say? And, yeah, the ride was fun while it lasted. No, there is. Penn State. A 500 team. Penn State's losing.
If Penn State can beat Northwestern, they're going on a winning streak. I think in Bryce Jordan Center, this place will be as rocking as it can. Let's be real. But, yeah, as rocking as it can. I think Minnesota, you could argue, is if there's Penn State and Northwestern, Minnesota's next.
Where's Rutgers in that?
Rutgers is a little bit above that. I think they're actually a little bit better than both Minnesota, Penn State, all those people. So, I.
They below. They might be worse than us.
It's debatable. But I think Penn State is going to come out on top. I think we're going to go on a winning streak. I think we're winning it all. Yeah, but I think that if they can get the win against Northwestern, this game is incredibly winnable, especially at home. So, that's that. Sadly, we have to talk about darts. I don't have to talk about darts. Here's Aaden.
Now, Kolstin pulled up the blurriest picture he could find.
There was nothing else.
Fire Kolstin. But, we got the Windmill World Masters Tournament. It's going to be a great 3 to 4 days of darts. The prelims have already started to see who's going to get these last 8 qualifier spots. Kolstin, look up here, man. I'm talking to you.
I don't care about darts, bro.
You got to pick this.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You got to circle.
Darts, bro.
You got to circle a name.
No.
Yes?
I'll take qualifier 7.
You think, all right, Kolstin's picking qualifier 7. That's going to go against his record. Well, he's 0-1 in darts. But who do I have winning the Windmill Darts World Masters? You obviously got to look at guys like Luke Littler, like Luke Humphreys, like Gary Anderson, who had a great run in the World Darts Finals, like Gian Van Veen, like Michael Van Gerwen. All of these guys, these are going to be the 5 to look out for. But if I had to bet on one,
Give me Josh Rock.
Josh Rock, that is also a very good pick, a young and upcoming prospect. Kolstin's pick is actually Josh Rock. Kolstin, he wears a purple shirt. He's cool. Give me Gary Anderson to shock the world. And I circled it, both of them. Aspinall. Well, it's Gary Anderson wins the Windmill Darts World Masters. I think he's going to verse Luke Littler. Maybe Michael Van Gerwen if he can get under Littler's skin and win a couple of early legs. The format's weird. It's first to 2 legs wins a set. You need 3 sets to win until the finals. Then I think it's like 5. I could be wrong on that. It's going to be a great, great showdown. A bunch of great darts for 4 days. That's it for me. Watch MCTV. Watch more of this. Watch Kolstin's pick lose. Watch my picks win. Hashtag Team Aaden in the comments. Even though Kolstin doesn't get any comments. Except Dale.
So, there's nothing else. So, that's all we got. Yeah, I think that. Can I even do that? I think I can.
Yes, you can, Kolstin.
Magic. All right. We'll see who comes out on top in episode 13, where we get to talk about the biggest game in sports, the Super Bowl. So,
Hold on. No,
we'll have this debate after the episode. We will pick. We will not actually pick that. Actually, I don't watch soccer, but I don't care if it's we'll pick the actual World Cup, the second biggest game in the entirety of sports. So that'll do it. Episode number 12. Your rightful owner still up by 1. I'm Kolstin Diven. See ya.